Hello, dear students. In the last lecture, we studied congruence modulo n and a few important properties of congruence modulo n. In today's class, we'll start with relations and I'll begin with the very basic thing, and that is an ordered pair. Now, as the name itself suggests, an ordered pair is nothing but a pair of elements, pair meaning two. So there is a pair of elements in a specified order. So order is going to be important over here. Remember, when I write elements in a set, the order is not important. So whether I write the set as 2, 3 or 3, 2, they are both one and the same. So in a set, the order of the elements do not matter. But in an ordered pair, by the very name itself, it's a pair of elements in a specified order. So here, order is going to make a difference. A is called as the first element or the first coordinate. B is called as the second element or the second coordinate of the ordered pair. And we say that two ordered pairs, AB and CD, are equal if and only if, I'm sure you must have guessed by now, if and only if the first element is equal to the first and the second element is equal to the second element. So A must be equal to C and B must be equal to D. Therefore, you can see that the ordered pair 2, 3 is not going to be the same as the ordered pair 3, 2. Because the first element is not the same as the first element. So in general I can say that the ordered pair AB is not the same as the ordered pair BA. However, there is one exception where the ordered pair AB will be the same as BA. If you know it, you can continue. If not, pause the video and think about it. When in what case will the ordered pair AB be equal to the ordered pair BA? Go back to the definition if that's a problem. The ordered pair AB is equal to CD if and only first element is equal to the first and the second element is equal to the second. So the ordered pair AB will be equal to BA if and only if first element is equal to the second is equal to the second. First element is equal to the first and second is equal to the second. This tells us that A and B must be equal. So in an ordered pair, we have a pair of elements in a specified order and two ordered pairs are equal if and only if the first is equal to the first, second is equal to the second. With this idea in mind, we'll now move on to Cartesian product of two sets because that's the next important idea in defining a relation. So let's start with two sets, capital A, capital B. Their Cartesian product is denoted by A cross B. A cross B is again a set and it contains all possible ordered pairs where the first element comes from the first set, second element comes from the second set. So the Cartesian product of the two sets A and B will be denoted this way, A cross B, and is defined as the collection of all possible ordered pairs where the first element comes from the first set, second element comes from the second set. So just to give you all an example, let me take A as 1, 2, 3 and B as say 4, 5. Now let's quickly write down what is A cross B. If you wish to practice, you can pause the video, write down what is A cross B on your own and then you can get back to the video and check your answer. And while you are doing that, you can also try and find out what will be B cross A. So if I were to write A cross B, I need to look at all ordered pairs where the first element comes from A and the second element comes from B. That means in the ordered pair, my first element can be 1, 2, 3, and my second element can be either 4 or 5. So I am going to now write down all such ordered pairs. So I have 1 comma 4, 1 comma 5, because first element has to be from A, second from B. So I am taking all possible combinations of second elements by keeping the first one fixed. You can do it the other way around also. 2 4, 2 5, 3 4, 3 5. Okay, that will be A cross B. And what about B cross A? Now the first element has to come from B and the second element has to come from A. So B cross A will be 4 comma 1, 4 comma 2, 4 comma 3. First element has to come from B and second element has to come from A. So we'll get 3 more pairs, 5 1, 5 2, 5 3. And now also compare A cross B with B cross A. Look at the element 1 4. 1 4, remember, it's not the same as 4 1 because it's an ordered pair. So AB in general is not the same as B unless A is the same as B. So the ordered pair 1 comma 4 is not the same as 4 comma 1. And I do not get 1 comma 4 anywhere else. So it is very clear that again I am saying in general A cross B is not going to be the same as B cross A. So Cartesian product, again, order is important. Which set you write first, which set you write in the second place. Once again, think about it. When would A cross B be equal to B cross A? So the set A cross B will be equal to B cross A if and only if A is the same as B. So if the two sets are equal, naturally it's not going to make a difference which one you put in the first place and which one you put in the second place. There's yet another important aspect of the Cartesian product which you must remember. Suppose like in this example, you can also define it for infinite sets, but specifically suppose I have finite sets and cardinality of A is say M, means number of elements in A is M. B is also finite, say cardinality of B is N. So number of elements in A is M, number of elements in B is N. Then number of elements in A cross B. You can actually look at this example and guess what is the formula, or you could even use the counting principle, the multiplication principle. This will contain all ordered pairs like this. So first element has to come from A, second element has to come from B. Now for the first element, we will have as many choices as the number of elements in A. So for the first place, in the ordered pair, we have M choices. And we also need to fill up the second place. For the second place, the element has to come from B. So the number of choices for the second place will be as many elements as the number of elements in the set B. So if A and B are finite sets, then the number of elements in A cross B will be M into N. And now we are in a good position to define a relation. So let A and B be two sets. We have already seen how to take the Cartesian product of A and B. A cross B contains all possible ordered pairs of elements where the first element comes from A, second element comes from B. Any subset of A cross B will be called a relation from A to B, from the first set to the second set. So if R happens to be a subset of A cross B, it's going to be a relation from A to B. Obviously, if R is a subset of B cross A, if R is a subset of B cross A, then we will say that R is a relation from B to A. Remember, we already mentioned that in general A cross B is not the same as B cross A. So I need to tell you whether it's a relation from A to B or B to A depending on whether it's a subset of A cross B or B cross A. Now, before I give you some more terms associated with this, let's look at the same example as before, where I had taken A as 1, 2, 3, B as 4, 5. I had already written down what is A cross B. A cross B contained 6 elements, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5. Okay. Now, when I say I take a subset of A cross B, remember what we mean by a subset. A subset may contain all the elements, it may contain some of the elements, it may contain none of the elements. So, just as an example, let me take R to be a subset containing some of the elements and also avoid some other elements from the set. So let me take this particular subset of A cross B. Remember, because R is a subset of A cross B, elements of R are also going to be ordered pairs. Now, because it's a subset, it may contain some ordered pairs and some ordered pairs may be missing from here. You'll notice that 1, 4 is there, 1, 5 is there. However, which are the ordered pairs that are missing? 2, 4, 2, 5 and 3, 4. So, if a particular ordered pair belongs to the set, because 1, 4 belongs to R, we will say that 1 is R related to 4, or simply 1 is related to 4 if it is clear what is the relation that we are talking about. So we will say that 1 is R related to 4 or 1 is related to 4, and we will write 1 related to 4 this way. So in general also, if I have an ordered pair inside this set R, then I will say that A is R related to B. It's always the first element which is related to the second. Or I can simply say that A is related to B, and this is the notation that I use for it. Now also notice that there are some pairs which are missing. For example, over here 2, 4 is missing. So I do not have the ordered pair 2, 4 over here. So I will say that 2 is not R related to 4, or simply 2 is not related to 4, and I will denote this fact this way. So notice that in this example 1 is related to 4, 1 is related to 5, 3 is related to 5, but 2 is not related to 4, 2 is not related to 5, and 3 also is not related to 4. So in general also, suppose I have an ordered pair which is there in A cross B but missing in R, then we will say that A is not R related to B, or A is not related to B, and we will write A not related to B this way. Now, there's just a terminology that I would like to introduce. If R happens to be specifically a subset of A cross A, where the first set is the same as the second set, then by the above terminology, I would have to say that R is a relation from A to A. But if the first set is the same as the second set, I prefer to conserve my energy. I mean, it's not me who has done this. This is done in every standard textbook. If the first set is the same as the second set, then we take a shortcut and we simply say that R is a relation on A. So when I say it's a relation on A, it's understood that the first set is A as well as the second set is A. That means it's a relation from A to itself. And that will be all in this lecture. In the next lecture, we will look at various types of relations on a given set.